In this video, we'll be taking a look at 4 college basketball games happening on February 8, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 8 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 4 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Tennessee versus Oklahoma. The Tennessee Volunteers are making their way to the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma, where they will face off against the Oklahoma Sooners in an exciting college basketball matchup. Currently, Tennessee holds the 6th spot in the Southeastern Conference with an impressive season record of 19-4 and a conference record of 6-4. On the other hand, Oklahoma finds itself ranked 13th in the Southeastern Conference with a season record of 16-6 and a conference record of 3-6. The last time these two teams met on the court was back in 1968, with Tennessee coming out on top in a tightly contested game, winning by a score of 55-49. To analyze this upcoming game, it is crucial to assess how the Oklahoma Sooners have fared against tough competition at home in conference play this season. Unfortunately for Oklahoma, the results have not been favorable. While the Sooners secured a few early season wins during the Battle for Atlantis tournament, their performance has significantly declined since then, and they have suffered several losses on their home floor. For example, unranked Texas came into Oklahoma's arena and defeated them, as did the number 10 ranked Texas A&M team. Tennessee, however, is a stronger team than those two, and they boast the top-ranked defense in the nation according to Ken Palm. Tennessee's defense has proven to be effective on the road, and the Volunteers will likely bring the same intensity in Norman, looking to jump on Oklahoma early and put them on their heels. The Volunteers have been tested over the past 5 games, facing ranked opponents, and with 4 conference losses already under their belt, they understand the urgency to secure this victory to climb up in the standings. Oklahoma, after a crushing loss to the number 1 ranked team in the nation, is in for a similar fate when they square off against the number 4 ranked Volunteers. Tennessee has shown solid performance this season with a 5-3-0 record against the spread when facing ranked teams. The Volunteers are likely to control the pace of the game, slowing it down to a level where Oklahoma will struggle. Tennessee's ability to shut down Oklahoma's 3-point shooting will make it even more difficult for the Sooners to mount a comeback, especially if Tennessee is able to build an early lead. While Tennessee's defense wasn't as sharp in their last game, their overall defensive capabilities this season have been excellent, and we can expect them to step up in a big way for this matchup. Tennessee's offense has also been productive, averaging 75 points per game, and they should have no problem putting up a solid score in this game. Oklahoma has struggled with consistency leading up to this contest, and their difficulties are expected to continue as they face a formidable opponent in Tennessee. Given Oklahoma's struggles with both rebounding and 3-point shooting, especially against a defense as stout as Tennessee's, it seems likely that the Volunteers will take control of this game and run away with a comfortable victory. So the Tennessee Volunteers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. When we take a look at Oklahoma's over-under record this season, they stand at 6-1-0 against ranked teams. Comparing the two teams' offensive and defensive averages in their last 3 games, as well as considering their overall season performance and home-away splits, we arrive at a projected total of 144 points for this game. Even after factoring in the average pace of both teams, which stands at 69.5 possessions per game, the total still exceeds the line of 142. Tennessee is expected to have an edge on the boards, giving them more opportunities to score and likely pushing the game over the projected total. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Marquette versus Creighton. The Marquette Golden Eagles are heading to the Chi Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska, where they will face off against the Creighton Blue Jays. Marquette currently holds the 3rd spot in the Big East, with an overall season record of 18-5 and a conference record of 9-3. On the other hand, Creighton is ranked 2nd in the Big East, boasting a season record of 17-6 and a conference record of 10-2. The last time these two teams met, Marquette came out victorious with a 79-71 win. The Big East is gearing up for a thrilling weekend, and one of the most highly anticipated matchups on Saturday takes place in Omaha, where the Creighton Blue Jays will host the Marquette Golden Eagles. This game will be a crucial contest for positioning near the top of the conference standings. Marquette got off to an impressive start in conference play, but it quickly became apparent that much of their early success was influenced by the level of competition they faced during their 9-1 run in the Big East. As Marquette has encountered stronger opponents this season, they have struggled to secure victories, and that pattern was evident in their recent losses to UConn last weekend and St. John's earlier this week. Now, the Golden Eagles will be traveling to Omaha to face a Creighton team that has been on fire lately and is eager for revenge after falling short against Marquette back on January 3rd. Creighton's non-conference schedule posed some challenges, but the team has since turned their season around with an impressive 10-1 record over their last 11 games. In fact, the Blue Jays have not suffered a loss since their 79-71 defeat to Marquette. In that game, Creighton stayed competitive throughout, managing to cover the spread on the road despite committing more turnovers and shooting just 22% from beyond the arc. Point guard Stephen Ashworth had a particularly rough night, finishing 1 of 1 but it's unlikely that such a performance will be repeated in front of their home crowd. Furthermore, Marquette's defense, ranked 273rd in two-point shooting defense and 323rd in defensive rebounding, is unlikely to pose much of a challenge to Creighton's star player Ryan Kalkbrenner, who recently delivered a dominant 35-point performance against Providence. Defensively, Creighton stands out by committing the fewest fouls of any team in the country, which will be key against a Marquette offense that tends to struggle when Cam Jones isn't performing at an elite level. Since January 1st, Marquette has been ranked 55th in the nation, while Creighton has established itself as a top 20 team according to Bardovic. When these two teams met in Milwaukee last month, Marquette only held a 5-point lead with 2 minutes remaining, and Creighton did not play its best game. Despite shooting just 23% from 3 and 40% from the floor, both well below their season averages, Creighton was still able to stay competitive. This time, with the game being played on Creighton's home court, I expect the Blue Jays to shoot more efficiently and gain an advantage. Marquette has not been strong against the spread as an underdog this season, with a 1-2 record in such games, and they are 4-5 against the spread in road contests. On the other hand, Creighton has won 5 of their last 10 games against Marquette by an average margin of 7 points. The Blue Jays have also performed well against the spread this season, boasting a 10-1 record versus conference opponents, while Marquette has struggled with a 4-8 record against the spread in the same category. Despite some injury issues earlier in the season, Creighton has continued to score effectively and secure victories. At this point, Creighton has earned the right to be favored in this high-profile matchup. While Marquette has shown resilience under head coach Shaka Smart, they have struggled to step up in class against tougher competition in the conference. Creighton is currently on a strong run, and with both teams being among the top 4 in the Big East, I believe that the home court advantage will be the deciding factor. Creighton matches up well with Marquette, and until I see Marquette succeed against one of the Big East's elite teams, I'm inclined to back Creighton in this revenge spot after their January loss to Marquette. The Blue Jays are peaking at the right time, and I don't want to bet against their 8-game winning streak. With their home court advantage, defensive improvements, and the dominant play of Ryan Kalkbrenner, the Creighton Blue Jays to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Marquette has a poor over-under record of 2-6-1 on the road this season. When we analyze both teams' offensive and defensive statistics for this season, as well as their recent performances, we project a total of 144 points for this game. The bookmakers have set the line very close to this projected total. However, considering how Marquette has performed on the road, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Florida versus Auburn. Another exciting and action-packed Saturday of college basketball is on the horizon, and this upcoming matchup is generating significant buzz. It features a highly anticipated showdown between the number 6 ranked Florida Gators and the top-ranked Auburn Tigers. This clash promises to be a thrilling contest, as both teams have been among the most dominant in the nation this season. Fans and analysts alike are eager to see how these two powerhouse programs will match up once again, adding extra intensity to an already charged atmosphere. The game also serves as a rematch of the 2024 Southeastern Conference Tournament Championship game, where Auburn triumphed over Florida with an impressive 86-67 victory, further fueling the anticipation for this highly competitive battle. At first glance, the spread of 8.5 points seems somewhat ambitious, particularly when considering that this is a showdown between two top 6 teams in the nation. However, after a closer look, I believe this line is justified. I am confident in laying the points with Auburn as the favorites on their their home court. The Tigers have been an absolute force this season, dismantling their opponents with relentless efficiency. With an outstanding record of 21-1 straight up, they are currently one of the most dominant teams in college basketball. Additionally, Auburn boasts the second-best margin of victory in the nation at an impressive plus 19 points per game, meaning that on average, they are defeating opponents by nearly 20 points in every contest. This kind of consistent dominance is hard to ignore, and it makes them a formidable opponent for any team. On the other hand, Florida's road performance this season has raised some concerns. The Gators have experienced a few stumbles away from home, including a high-scoring 106-100 loss to Kentucky and a tough 64-44 defeat to Tennessee just last weekend. These struggles in hostile environments are definitely concerning and could prove to be a significant disadvantage in this matchup. When you also consider that Florida ranks just 122nd in turnovers per game with an average of 10.8, it only adds to my hesitation in backing them to pull off an upset in this challenging road environment. The Gators have shown flashes of potential, but their inconsistency on the road is a major red flag, especially when going up against a team as potent as Auburn. I see that Walter Clayton Jr. is expected to return for Florida in this game, which should provide a boost for the Gators. His presence on the floor will undoubtedly help, but even with him back in the lineup, I'm still not inclined to go against the momentum that Auburn has built this season. The Tigers have been an unstoppable force, and they show no signs of slowing down. At times, I've thought that Florida could be a legitimate national championship contender, and I still believe they have that potential. However, their struggles on the road have made me question their ability to compete at the highest level in such an intimidating setting. Meanwhile, Auburn will undoubtedly be fired up for the opportunity to secure another signature win on their home court. For these reasons, I'm confident in Auburn to not only win but also cover the spread as favorites. So the Auburn Tigers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Both teams in this matchup are among the best offensive units in the country, so we can expect a high-scoring, fast-paced game. From a raw points per game perspective, both Florida and Auburn rank in the top 20 nationally, with each team averaging at least 83 points per game. In terms of shooting efficiency, they are both top 85 teams in field goal percentage, further solidifying their reputation as offensive juggernauts. Moreover, these teams are incredibly efficient when it comes to their adjusted offensive metrics. Auburn leads the nation in adjusted offensive efficiency, averaging an impressive 131 points per 100 possessions, while Florida is not far behind, ranking 6th with 124 points per 100 possessions. When it comes to tempo, Florida is ranked 101st with 68.5 possessions per 40 minutes, while Auburn ranks slightly lower at 130th with 68 possessions per 40 minutes. Despite these minor differences, both teams have no trouble running the floor, and I fully expect this game to turn into a high-scoring, back-and-forth affair. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Texas Tech versus Arizona. It's an exciting Big 12 showdown on the basketball court as the number 13 Texas Tech Red Raiders make their way to the Valley of the Sun to face off against the number 20 Arizona Wildcats on Saturday night. In their most recent game, Texas Tech triumphed over Baylor with a 73-59 victory at home on Tuesday, easily covering the spread as a 7.5-point favorite. Arizona, on the other hand, ventured on the road to take on Brigham Young University, securing an 85-74 win on Tuesday night as they triumphed outright as a 3-point underdog. Historically, Arizona holds a narrow 15-13 lead in the all-time series between the two schools. However, Texas Tech managed to come out on top with a 70-54 victory in the first meeting this season on January 18th. The initial contest between these two teams in Lubbock was a thrilling one, and there are high expectations for this upcoming game to live up to the excitement. There's a lot on the line as Texas Tech enters this matchup with a perfect 5-0 record on the road, including an impressive overtime victory over Houston. Meanwhile, Arizona boasts a solid 10-1 home record, with their only loss coming against Duke back in November. Both teams have been playing exceptionally well lately. The Red Raiders have won 7 straight games, while Arizona has gone 12-1 over their last 13 games after struggling with a 4-5 record earlier in the season. A significant factor in this matchup is the status of Texas Tech's Toppin. He had an outstanding performance in their previous victory over Arizona, recording recording 20 points and 16 rebounds, which contributed to Texas Tech dominating the rebounding battle 50-34. If Toppin is able to play, the Red Raiders could very well pull off a road victory. However, if he's unavailable or limited, the experienced Arizona squad would likely gain a substantial advantage. Arizona has been dominant in their recent matchups against Texas Tech, winning 7 of their last 10 encounters by an average margin of 14 points. The Wildcats have an impressive 8-4-0 record against the spread this season when facing conference opponents. On the other hand, Texas Tech has struggled a bit against ranked teams, posting a 1-2-0 record against the spread in such games. Both teams excel on both offense and defense, but Arizona's fast-paced playing style may force Texas Tech to step outside their comfort zone. Given the historical success of Arizona, particularly when playing at home, we believe the Wildcats will not only win but also cover the spread as favorites in this matchup. Both teams are known for their strong performances on both ends of the court. Arizona ranks 23rd nationally in defensive efficiency, 47th in effective field goal percentage defense, 110th in turnover percentage, and 31st in field goal percentage defense. Meanwhile, Texas Tech is ranked 27th in defensive efficiency, 34th in effective field goal percentage defense, 89th in forced turnover percentage, and 55th in field goal percentage defense. This matchup represents a clash of contrasting playing styles. Arizona is 51st in the nation with 70.6 possessions per game, while Texas Tech plays at a slower pace, ranked 276 with just 65.2 possessions per game. In their first meeting last month in Lubbock, the game ended with only 124 total points. If the Red Raiders are able to slow down the tempo, especially if Toppin is unable to play or is limited, we believe the under on the projected total is the best bet for the full game total. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.